Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Apache Superset. Today we are going to discuss chart customization. I will cover 5 topics: how to add custom tooltips, how to do customization of pie and bar charts, how to enable predictive analytics within bar chart. We have already covered in detail how to add custom CSS to enhance visualization, but we'll briefly touch upon it again today. And finally, how to use markup to create custom chart within Superset. If you have not watched the other 3 videos we have on our channel, how to set up Superset, how to connect to the databases, and how to create dashboard and how to do the customization. So I suggest you watch those 3 videos before covering today's topic. So let's start. So I have already connected my Superset using Docker, and we have a dashboard, sales dashboard which we will use today. I was just playing around with it, so let me delete these charts first so we can start fresh. So let's quickly go to the charts before we start the customization. So if you go to chart and click create chart on the top right corner, you'll see all the options here. They are grouped together into different categories. So for example, these 6-7 charts of suitable for correlation. Then we have a distribution, evolution, flow, we have KPI, we have map, pathhole, ranking table, and other. We'll cover this handlebar in detail today. So let's quickly go through let's quickly go through pie chart and bar chart customization, and then we'll discuss custom CSS. So I click here, edit chart. So here you can add your custom query, custom SQL. You can save it with whatever name you want. And if you go to customization, you can change the color scheme. In this case, we are controlling color scheme through the dashboard, so that's why we don't have an option to change it. You can change the threshold. You can show legend. You can choose the position of the legend. You can change the margin of the chart and labels, etc. It's very there's nothing complicated. It's very simple formatting. You can show total, you can hide total, you can show labels, you can hide labels. You can put labels outside or inside the chart. You can increase or decrease the radius, outer and inner radius of the chart. You can change the scroll type. You can change the rows type. You can change the radius, for example. And click update chart, and then you can save. Since it will save as a new chart, and then you can edit it. So you can see here we have a new chart appearing here. This is very simple, very straightforward. So let me know if you have any specific question. Was happy to answer either in comments or by posting another video. Let's cover quickly bar chart. So bar chart, again, the customization is relatively simple. You can change to horizontal or vertical. You can change the title of x-axis, y-axis, title position. You can sort by various category name, minimum value, maximum value, total value. Change the stack. You can enable data zoom. You can show or hide legends. So rich tooltip is not available in all the charts. We'll cover rich tooltip here. So you can enable or disable. If you disable, you don't see all products here. If you enable rich tooltip, it will show you all the available products for each quarter. And then you, of course, you can add look at the MIC axis or minor split. Okay, so let's this is the basic customization of bar chart. If I click save, it will save as a new chart. So let me edit it here, and so we can have a bigger view. There you go. Okay, right. So as you can see, it's very similar chart to we have. We don't have the legends, and we have zoom option, zoom area. So if I click here, I can zoom into the chart, and then I can change that zoom by drag and drop, by dragging bottom, and then you can restore the zoom. So we have covered tooltip. We have covered how to customize bar chart. We have covered how to customize. Pie chart. So let's move to our next topic, which is right here. You go. So we have covered the custom tooltip. We have covered customization of pie chart and bar chart. Now enabling predictive analytics. So that's a very useful topic. So let's cover that now. So you can see if you go to the data of the bar chart and scroll down, you have the option of predictive analytics here. Right. So you can enable forecast. So what it does is basically based on the data, it will forecast a few periods down the line. So for example, if I enable this forecast, and I can change then period here, so I can change 10 or 8 or 20 or whatever. Confidence level, seasonality. For example, if you have a seasonal business, you can enable it, whether seasonality is weekly or daily, and then you can update the chart. It will do some magic, and now you have the here. So now you have forecasts beyond 2005. So this above chart, you can for comparison, you can see the data is only until 2005. Now this is beyond 2005. So let's hold on a second. Let's change this a little bit. So if I go to customization and I disable zoom and none or stack. Right. Okay. Update. Save. Right. So you can see we have the sales data beyond 2005. So this is our last available data, and now we have for June 2005, for September 2005, and until 30th September 2007, right? So this is very useful feature. To enable this feature, you need to install a library, a profit library. So what you need to do is you need to go to your Superset. Sorry, you go to your Docker. So Docker. Here's Docker. So here's my Docker. So what you need to do, you need to go to the Docker container. So here's my. So these are all the containers. So click on Superset, and then you'd have two containers, Postgres and Superset. So click Superset. Go to exec. I already have installed it. But you need to just type pip install profit, and it will install the library. You need to restart your superset from the top right corner, and it will So that's our um, third topic covered now. Um, that's our third topic. Oh, come on. So that's the third topic covered now. Now we have two more topics to cover. Custom CSS, which is, we'll quickly go through custom CSS, which is relatively easy because we already covered in detail in another video. So I won't go into too much detail. I'll quickly go through. All right, so these are the charts. All right, so you can customize these charts, and it's a very similar process. You click on your edit dashboard. You need to know your element and how to find your element. I suggest you go into your you watch the other video where I explain in very detail how to identify the element for each chart, and so you can apply custom CSS. So click edit CSS, and then you can apply. For example, in this case, we will customize the chart container, um, and then let's also customize the slides container. Right. So we have changed the chart container, slides container. As you can see, it has changed the background color, it has changed the fonts, etc. So you need to identify each element, and you can easily customize individual charts. It's very simple. So I'll just change this back. So let's remove slice container because it's looking ugly. All right, so you can see the background color is now grayish for these charts. So you can customize anything, from the font or the background color to, literally anything. I suggest you watch the other video in detail, so you have an idea of how to do the customization. Right. So now we have the final topic to cover, which is markup to create KPI cards like Power BI. So this is my favorite. I use it all the time, and I suggest you watch it carefully because it will help you. You can create any sort of custom visualization using this function if you know how to use HTML and CSS. And even if you don't know how to use HTML and CSS, just use any AI tool like ChatGPT or DeepSeek or any Perplexity, any tool to generate CSS and HTML code. So let's go through it quickly. Okay, so to work on the Markdown version of your KPI cards and similar to Power BI, what you need to do is you need to first go to your config file in your so go to your Superset installation folder. If you don't know where it is, just watch the first video. Open this config file in any editor and just copy paste these flags. So enable template processing, Jinja Markdown, and HTML Markdown. Keep it true, and then HTML sanitization is equal to false. So change that. Restart your container, and then come back to your dashboard. In your dashboard, what you need to do is create a new chart. Excuse me. Go to other, select handlebars. You need to select your. You need to select your data set. Create chart, and then so I'm going to create a sales chart in metrics. There'll be some. So here you can write your custom SQL, and just one thing, it'll be very difficult to do the formatting in in your HTML or CSS. So I suggest you do all your formatting in your database or in your SQL lab. So otherwise it'll be tough. So what we'll do is basically we at least we'll do some formatting to keep up to 2 decimal point. So format some sales to decimal point, and then change this to, you can change to anything. So I'll just change this to total sales. So this is important. You need to use this name of this tag for your custom HTML Markdown and CSS. So you see, as of now, we can see the total sales, which is this 100 million, and we already have some handlebar template in CSS. And what we need to do is we will create a div, and you can with HTML you can create any sort of chart. So what we've done is basically we created a div class called KPI card container, and then within the container we have a KPI card. You can have multiple containers in the same card, and then we have KPI value, and KPI value we linked to the data is total sales, which we have just put using SQL, and the class is KPI label for the label, and it's called total sales. You can name it to anything, and it's, as you can see, it's appearing as total sales to the right. Now we just need to write CSS. So let's first this format KPI container. So what you're doing is basically we aligning the center, margin top is 20. We can change it to anything. You can add any CSS. Now just let's format KPI card, just a container, and then we have card. We just adding left border. Let's just change it to 10. So, and it's red. And then we are next is KPI card. Okay. So we're changing some background, adding some shadows, etc., and aligning text. And finally, the KPI value and KPI label. So I've already written on the code, so you can easily write it on yourself, or you can ask ChatGPT to help you. Okay, so now it's ready. Here you go. Save. You can total sales KPI. Okay, and I'm gonna save and go to the dashboard. So it's gonna add to the dashboard. All right. So here's your KPI. You can, of course, it's very small. You can increase the size and everything. I just wanted to quickly. Okay. So here's your KPI. Okay, maybe we need to increase this. So here's your KPI created using your Markdown option within the Superset. So this is just a sample. I use KPI cards all the time. I love KPI card within Power BI. I mean, you can add text, you can add values, you can add whatever you want. It's really useful. But you can create any sort of visualization. To be honest, if you want to add a custom heading, if you want to add a custom title, if you want to add custom, I don't know, anything. So you can use the Markdown. So in my dashboards, almost 20-30% of the charts are created using this handlebar. It's really useful. Okay. All right. So I hope you have enjoyed today's video. I hope it was a useful session. If you really like it, then do subscribe and like. In next video, what we'll do is basically I'll try to cover um, all the charts. So all these charts I'll try to cover. It'll be very simple video. Explaining what is the use of each chart, why, for which sort of data we can use area chart, for which sort of data we can use bar chart, etc., etc. And I'll try to explain. You can also, you can search that on the internet, but I thought I'll just make a video to so for you for viewers that they know which chart to use for which type of data. So till then, it's a goodbye. Take care of yourself and your family and people around you, and see you soon. Thank you. Bye.